Okay, all right. Do you want me to introduce it now? Okay, we're going to start over. I'm Daisy Whitney. I'm reporting at South by Southwest for TVWeek and Beat TV. I am here with Joe Weisenthal, who's a reporter from paidContent, and we're both going to talk about what's going on at the show. I'm going to ask him some questions because he's been here longer than me. I got here on Sunday. He's been here since Thursday, and then we'll talk about South by Southwest and online video and whatever else comes up. Okay, so what have you been doing since you got here?
Pretty much. I mean, I came in late on Thursday night, and I flew in from New York, and pretty much just been hanging out with other New Yorkers. I mean, it's nice. I think Austin is a nice middle ground because a bunch of people are here from San Francisco, a bunch of people are here from New York, so it's sort of like neutral territory. But I don't know. I haven't really met anyone outside of New York, so.
Okay, so this is your first time coming to the interactive portion, but you've done the music and film before. You've covered that aspect.
I never covered it. I used to live here, so I used to it was a lot less stressful than just actually enjoyed it. But it's pretty much the same thing. Like in the film part, you have all these documentary makers, like, oh, come see my documentary about the prison system or some election or something like that. And here it's like, here's a flyer and check out, or here's a little check out.
Okay, so what is the weirdest, strangest, most unusual flyer that you've gotten to come check out a web show? Anything come to mind?
I'm going to have to pass on that.
Okay, all right, that's fair enough.
I'll think about it.
All right, so are you going to panels? Are you going to parties? What are you doing?
I'm going to panels during the day, seen a couple interesting stuff, but don't ask me what specific because I won't have anything good to say. But mainly, having a lot of good discussions with people, had a couple interviews, and then, obviously, the night's sort of crazy, parties, and
so
it's sort of a little too much, actually. I sort of like to be asleep by 10:30. I don't really like talking to people.
Yeah, sure, I'm sure you do.
So, but it's really crazy because every party seems to lure people with free beer, but beer only costs in Austin $2 a bottle, so I'm surprised it's such a lure.
But see, that goes back to this whole thing about social media and online video is free. People like anything for free, don't you think?
Yeah, I know, but ask would you stand in line for 20 minutes for $2? No. But
other people would?
Not many people. But for $2 beer, people are just like,
okay, so what are you reporting on? What have you written today for paidContent?
I did an interview. I wrote up an interview I did with the CEO of Kite. They do online video and a lot of other stuff, and I just interviewed the CEO of Rocky, but I haven't written that up, and try and do a few more discussions. And
so what do you think, final question, what do you think is going to be the big takeaway from attendees? I mean, there's a lot of web video stars and hosts and producers. From your vantage point as a reporter, as an expert covering this space, what do you see people really learning from this show?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I think what I've learned is more about the experience of being here and how social media affects that. So everyone's on there Twitter or whatever else, and I'll say this, I'm fiercely what's the opposite of an early adopter? I guess it would be a late adopter.
A Luddite.
I guess I'm not really a Luddite because I'm not anti-technology, but I just want everything to be 3 or 4 years old before I get into it. So I guess people have been into the mobile thing for a while, but not me so much. I still have this pretty.
Wow, that is so cool.
No, I can't do anything with it, and
Can you even text with that?
I can text, but I can't download any apps. So now after being here and seeing how people get so much use out of mobile in a social environment, now I'm gonna go back and get some nice phone.
Okay, so are you gonna start Twittering? Are you gonna get into the whole?
I did actually, yeah, 18 months after everyone else did. I did actually sign up for a Twitter account. It's been somewhat useful, and but I guess that's not so much what I've heard on the panels, although those have been interesting. But what I've really sort of taken in is how these various technologies sort of enhance social settings. So that is pretty interesting.
Okay, so do you want to role play? Do you want to interview me now?
Sure,
okay.
Yeah. So tell me what you do for TVWeek.
I cover new media and online video and social media.
And what kind of stuff have you seen that's interesting?
Well, I just got here yesterday, as you know, and I just think the big takeaway is that there's no actual news coming out of South by Southwest. We're not going to see the big announcement or so-and-so did this deal with so-and-so. It's all a matter of who you run into in the hallway. Did you see somebody? Did you start pitching your new concept for a web show? And then you're going to set up another meeting 2 weeks from now, or when you're in New York, let's follow up. I think that's what's going on here. It's very this is where the cool kids are, and you have to do deals the right way.
Right. I actually appreciate you saying that because I actually haven't covered that much news, and I was like, oh, am I missing something? But I don't think I am. I just don't think there's a whole lot of news coming.
No, it is definitely not. This show is all about networking. It's all about going to to the parties, and just kind of in a very cool way, kind of laying the groundwork.
That's exactly what I was thinking. And it seems like a good deal because like a lot of, conferences are like one day and then you have like 2 hours of cocktail chatter and that's it. And here you have like 5 nights of nonstop partying.
And you have to like prove yourself at a show like this, I think. It's not a matter of, okay, I'm going to go cover these panels and deliver these things to my publication. It's like, do I know enough people where I can grab them in the hallway for an interview, or I can try to, run into somebody at a party and start talking about the next thing that we're going to be working on together. It's very much who you know.
So let's talk specifics for 1 second, if you can. What are some companies or startups in digital video or TV that you think are interesting?
Well,
I wouldn't let you ask me that question.
No. All right. Well, I really like what Blip TV is doing. I mean, I think I use Blip TV for the New Media Minute, which is my sort of weekly webcast on the business of online media. So obviously that's my disclaimer. But I like what they're doing. I think they've got some good shows. I just spoke with Lindsay Campbell, who's formerly of Wall Strip, and she's launching Mob Logic. I think that's sort of an interesting premise what she's got going on. But she's got the backing of CBS, so I think that's going to be an important show for us to pay attention to as reporters and for the industry to pay attention to. Is can they pull this off with the backing of a major media company, but the sort of aesthetic of a real web show, very much on the street, kind of edgier type of content. So it'd be interesting to see if they can marry that. And then of course there's All for Naughts, which is the new Michael Eisner production, which I think is officially launching tomorrow. So those are the things that I would say in the web world. Kind of keep your eye on whether these are successful, and hopefully they're not the next Quarter Life.
Yeah, I was actually in a panel this morning. It's funny you reference Quarter Life, and one of the discussions was like making the jump from sort of being an internet star to a TV star, and the question was, is that even is that even something people want? Like, is the internet like a minor leagues for TV, or is it just its end in its own right? Do you have any?
Well, I mean, that is I think that's one of the real important questions, and I don't have the answer to that yet, because I think for some people it is very much, as you say, the minor leagues, it's the farm system, but I really truly believe, and that's partly because I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, I truly believe it's going to be an end in and of itself. I was watching on the plane out here, I was watching Internet Superstar, which is a Revision 3 show, and I was watching it on my iPod. Now I have to admit, I have an iPod, I primarily use it for music, I don't watch a lot of videos on it, but I'm watching it on the plane, and they're swearing, and they're being kind of edgy, and I'm thinking, you know what, this is some good stuff, and I'm not going to find this on traditional TV, and I'm okay with that, and I like the idea that I can just sit here on the plane, and I sort of felt like I knew things that other people didn't know. I'm like, I know about this really cool web show.
Right. Yeah, it does seem like there, especially once sort of digital video can match TV in production values, come close to it, then you sort of see how regular TV is sort of hamstrung by various limitations, sort of pleasing advertisers or pleasing the FCC.
And look, I will always watch Grey's Anatomy. I love that show. I love The Office. But I'm starting.
The Wire.
That too. I'm starting as a consumer to really see. There are some shows that I could see being appointment viewing online as well.
So do you see them both coexisting for a while? I mean, you don't see TV dying, right?
No, because you look at the numbers. It was funny. I was talking about this on a podcast last week. Quarter Life got something close to 4 million views online, and a lot of the guys on the podcast with me, Kent Nichols, I don't know if I got his name right, from Ask a Ninja was on there. And he was saying, I'd love to have 4 million views. I mean, that's the thing. You look at the TV world, and 4 million views is something that's kind of poo-poo. Like, that's not really very good. We're throwing you onto cable, and that's only because we don't officially want to get rid of you. But on the web, that's huge. So we're not there yet where it's going to be getting rid of regular TV.
I agree. So anything else for me? You have any other questions for me?
No, I think we're good to go.
I got my picture taken with Jeff Bezos. That's the other big highlight.
Oh, that's right. You were here. So what are you going to do with that?
I don't know, but it was really cool. And one thing he said was that he was just there. This is his vacation, and I thought that was pretty cool. Like that, this was his vacation.
And that kind of explains what South by Southwest is. So there you go.